Good morning. It is 10 o'clock according to the clock on the wall. Actually, it's not a clock on the wall, it's a clock on the computer. So hopefully it is aligned with Greenwich time and we are on time and everything like that. So today, let me see. This is Blue Boy Brown, The Adventures of a Family, which is seen on the web at blueboybrown.com. You can see the scrolling banner at the bottom of the page. It'll tell you one of the new pages I put up this week. I put up 5 pages this week. I want to start accelerating the release of pages because I'm about 4 weeks ahead. And I'm of the opinion I'd like to get this thing wrapped up in about October. I got about 2 months to go before I actually get completely finished with all the work I've done, and then I somewhere in this time I'm gonna maybe do a Kickstarter campaign. I keep talking about it. What I keep doing is I keep getting distracted. Got a lot of things going on. I teach. I got things to do. Uh, you know, family things and other things like that. So, but I'll get to it. I'm always banging on my door saying, "Get that thing out! Get that thing out! I can't live without it." So, so yesterday, I'm gonna go up to full screen. Yesterday, well, here's a roll down of what's been going on the last week or so. We did this, I think, on maybe Tuesday. Yeah, this on Tuesday. Tuesday, maybe Tuesday and part of Wednesday. It's page 111. Then yesterday I did this. I showed a video of it. And today we're going to do this. I'm going to show a video of that uh, in just a second. Okay? That's going to be what I do for the first 35 minutes or so. I'm going to show a video of that. Stop sharing that. Then I'm going to share my QuickTime vid of this. And then we will, well, come on. Yeah, like that. Okay. So here we are. This is now what I told you. I've told you before that what I do is I do a little drawing in a small leather bound sketchbook. Then I scan that drawing. I blow it up on a laser printer, and I trace it onto a sheet of bristle board, which I get at Dick Blick. I don't get any affiliation for that, so don't worry about whether or not I'm getting money off of Dick Blick. No, nothing like that. I just love Dick Blick's bristle board because it's not expensive. It's big enough so you can cut one sheet into 2 pieces. You got a almost perfect sheet for comic books, and so then I trace it onto that, and then I take my then I do a contour line drawing. You see that some of this stuff here. That's the I use carbon paper to trace it on there, just a light tracing, and then I just go over it and create this contour drawing, which is the classic way of doing drawing. I do the gesture drawing in the sketchbook. I keep getting these phone calls. I don't want this phone call. Sorry. I get a lot of spam phone calls. Okay. I'm expecting a phone call from my chairperson's secretary. So if that happens, we're going to put you on mute, and whatever I'm doing, I'll be doing. And then I'll just talk to her while it's going on. Anyway, so after I get all this done, and I get this contour line drawing done, I start working on embellishing it. That's what this little QuickTime video is. So I'll get on with that right now because it's a little bit long, and but it shows you everything that you need to know about the way I do things. I know what that phone call was. It's my Medicare Advantage health plan. Keep bothering me. I know everything about you. Anyway, So I start doing little hatching and cross hatching and little doohickeys that I picked up from both Rembrandt and Leonardo. Not comparing myself to those big guys, but tell you where I get my inspiration. It's like the shoplifter at Neiman and Marcus, who was asked why a rich woman like her would shoplift. She says, "I only steal from the best stores." And so that's basically, you look for the best artists you can possibly find, say, what did they do? And then you do that. And it's pretty simple stuff. Hatching and cross hatching is elementary drawing 101. But it's real important to keep things simple. Just draw within your wheelhouse, and this is within my wheelhouse. I've been drawing for 60 years. I started drawing 1959. About this time, 1959, my brother started drawing Indian heads and horses. And so I started drawing Indian heads and horses and never stopped. Who would want to stop? It's too much fun. And you get pleasure out of it. And, the interesting thing is that one of the hallmarks of being young is getting depressed. I used to get pretty well depressed as a teenage boy, but drawing kept me from flying off the handle and going off the deep end and everything like that, because it gave me some kind of hope that things are going to get better. I'd be able to do something with this. And a few people get to do everything they wanted to do with the gifts they've been given. Hey, Leonardo da Vinci cried on his deathbed that he didn't do enough. He's probably right. He only did 15 paintings. But what paintings? So everybody looks back on their life as an artist, probably in other fields of their life too, and saying, man, I sure did waste a lot of time having a good time. And I probably did the same thing. As you can see, this is one of my favorite panels right here, because I was cooking. I was on all 8 cylinders were firing on this little panel here. And as you can see, even though I'm working with a mechanical pencil, and thank you, Alex Toth, because he's the one who basically started all this, doing it with a mechanical pencil. And I would have done it a lot earlier if I had discovered big mechanical pencils. But you pick up a mechanical pencil most of the time, and you say, I'm not going to draw with this thing. But then I discovered these big mechanical pencils, and man, are they nice. They have French lead. At least it's made in France. I don't know where the heck they get it. Probably from the same graphite mine that was originally discovered in the late Renaissance, and eventually became the wooden pencils that you have at school and everything like that, which are really actually pretty nice. I used to get like 144 Dixon school pencils, and I just sharpened half a dozen of them or so. Go at it. But I hate sharpening pencils. I really hate it. I hate it when they start to get blunt and you have to sharpen them again. But with these mechanical pencils, you never have to sharpen. You just have to click. You have to keep them populated with refills, which you can buy at Walgreens, CVS, Office Depot. In other words, they're all over the place. I love them. And you can see, looks like ink, doesn't it? Looks like ink. Now, when they get scanned, they don't look like ink. They look like pencil. But you can easily. Oh, what's the heck is that? Uh, uh, I see. Um, you can easily change the levels, and in changing the levels, you change the contrast and the brightness of the page, and you've got ink. So all I have to do is just make sure that each line is discrete. Even when you hatch, you're really hatching with discrete lines. You're not just laying in tones. You can create tonal variations using hatching. And the greatest example of that I know of, well, there's two or three greatest examples. The 100 Guilder print by Rembrandt, the Three Crosses by Rembrandt, a lot of Rembrandt's etchings, and the Head of a Satyr by Michelangelo is one of the great master schools in hatching and cross hatching because he gets incredible chiaroscuro out of just using line, and that can be done easily. You just have to keep on practicing at it. The great thing about using a pencil is, ha 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 ha, you can erase it. So you can get the most delicate lines out of a mechanical pencil, and then you can get real hard, emphatic lines. And there are three different widths that you can buy. You can buy, like, get it from, let's look at it right here. Get a 0.07 millimeter, which is what I'm using here, 0.05 millimeter, which I don't use that often, and a 0.09, I mean, 0.9 millimeter, which is a lot thicker, which is good for doing panel borders. Those panel borders you see there, I believe I did them with a 0.9. 0.9s are also good for laying in flat black areas. But the softest of the and the most amenable to drawing like this is the 0.7. 0.7 is nice and soft. It's a real, like a 2B or an HB. It's really just a 2B, and it's a really nice soft pencil. You can get full variation in value from this. Just do anything you want to with it. So I use that almost exclusively now. I started out this book using 0.5, uh, 0.5 millimeter, but I soon abandoned that because you just couldn't get the thick lines out of it. All you get these really thin lines. So I'd rather have this be easy to see. Now I finished that, so I'm really happy with that little thing. This is the introduction of my villain. We're not going to like this guy. You like him, then you need to go see a psychiatrist. And as I suspect, I leave the area of shadow pretty much for the color in Photoshop. I'll go wild over hatching here. I think I have the sound on this thing. Yeah. Yeah. My wife was walking the dog while I was doing this video, and I thought she had just walked in the door asking if the dog had a good walk, but she took him to the uh, doggy daycare so he could swim today. So I don't think that was her with the dog. You get up be my age, it's easy to get confused. Anyway, you get thin lips, thin like a dog's lips, is what they say back home. Your lips are thinner than a dog's lips. Do 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 do. Yeah, I think after this, I don't go back to videotaping anything for about 10, 15 pages. It's a real shame. I wish I'd done them all of them this way, but I probably had something going on. So I didn't do all of them. Wish I'd done every one of them, but that's life. A lot of them I did like, I remember. I was at a location where I couldn't do anything like that, and I was working at it. So I just went ahead and did the page without doing the video. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Would have been appropriate to do any video recording at the places I was at. Couldn't bring a tripod. I got the finished product over here to my left, and then I'm watching this and seeing how I got to this. Kind of interesting to see how I got to this place I see over on my left. Da 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 da. I guess I'm going up to the panel above it now after I probably messing around with I don't know if I refilled a ink cartridge. No, well, not ink cartridge, a pencil cartridge. Now I got to make that work. I can see at least one place where I need to do a little drawing in Photoshop. Right there, where, between the spokes of that wheel, I forgot to put anything in there. It would just be blank. Eh, nice thing about looking at this vid, which will now always be up on YouTube and Twitch. I don't know how long Twitch keeps things around. There are gobs of these things on YouTube and Facebook. Well, nobody's watching. I'll tell you, it's crazy. These little shows come in and come out, come in and come out. It's like sticking your head in the kitchen. What's on to eat, Ma? I have all of the stories entered into and formatted in InDesign from my first issue of Taylor Fiction Zine. Now I need to do a little bit of design work on the interior, so it's not just blank. Just not just plain text, which is not such a bad idea. You open up a book of short stories by Raymond Carver. You don't expect to see drawings, but maybe I'll just do a little bit of book design in it, and then I have to figure out. I have to, since I was planning on doing it probably exclusively on Amazon, since Amazon is the giant. You're not going to get that much action out of other venues. It takes an awful lot of trouble. And there are certain perks to using Amazon exclusively. But taking the book and turning it into a Kindle is a lot more difficult than just formatting it in InDesign. You have to take everything out, stick it into a Word document, take all of the illustrations out, which is one of the reasons why you maybe don't want to do any illustrations. So I do have one or two illustrations I like to put in there because I have a drawing that a couple of engravings that I did specifically for one of these stories, and it'd be nice to use that, but we'll see. Oh, de-boo, de-boo, de-boo. So, as you can see, I'm doing my best to make all the uh, All right there. Huh. I make all the everything as distinct as possible. Yeah. 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 It would be. Yeah. I do a close up of these, but it's impossible to do that in quick time. I don't think. Let me get that those controller out of there. See what there wasn't any noise in the background at that time, but it's best to keep the noise out. What do we got? I got about 9 minutes to go. Then we'll go into coloring this dang thing. You have to go through all types of rigmarole to get um, an InDesign uh, book that you've done for print to look halfway decent in Kindle. And I don't think you don't get to choose the fonts. Whereas with a Nook, I outputted it to EPUB. Looks exactly like the file in InDesign. Exactly like it. So it's a real shame that Kindle is kind of not as good as um, Barnes and Noble's stuff, except Barnes and Noble isn't as ubiquitous as Kindle. You get to embed fonts into Nook that you can't do in Kindle. They ought to fix that. They really ought to. Seems like it'd be a smart thing to do. They're working on a beta plugin for InDesign so that you can output it to Kindle. I used it and I couldn't even find it. I'd looking in InDesign. I couldn't even find the dang thing. Where is it? You put it. You installed it. Yeah, okay, you installed it. Where the heck is it? I didn't notice any place where you could actually output your output to Kindle the way you can for Nook. Ticks me off. Anyway, I'll just do it the old way. I already had the dang thing in a Word document. That's where I got the dang thing. So I just stick the whole thing in there. And since I'm not going to use but just one or two illustrations, shouldn't be a problem. Then I'll just put it out as a Kindle, put it in Kindle Previewer, and then put it up there. And decide whether I want to be exclusively to Amazon. I might. I just want something that's up there for stories that'll never become graphic novels. I don't have the time for it. I won't. This whole 9-book thing will take me at least another 10 years. At least. I can't imagine getting them out a year at a time. But I might be able to get them out at a year at a time. I'm clipping along doing this. I've developed this little strategy of doing things online here in this broadcast, and it's causing me to get things done a lot quicker than I was doing before. So it may be possible to get out a book a year. That'd be nice. And then I get them done by the time maybe I'm 75, 76 years old. Have a little time to do some other stuff. Who knows? I think it would be real modest things after when I'm in my late 70s. No, I'm not in that league, but at least it tells me that it's possible that Bouguereau, William Bouguereau, did his best work in his 70s. It's the most magnificent paintings you've ever seen in your whole life. Really, really, these things are slick as cow spit on a doorknob, and he did them in his 70s. So he really came into his own in his 70s. I can't believe that. He's a good painter for many, many, many years. His main goal was a synthesis of Raphael and Leonardo, and he did really nice. But boy, when he got into his 70s, he just started doing outrageous stuff. Late 60s, in his 60s and 70s, but in his 70s, he was just doing things, monumental, big things. You wonder how the heck you could do that at that age, but he did. So it gives me hope that maybe I'm doing this same thing on a much, much smaller quality scale. But hey, he couldn't write. And I do believe I've gotten some kind of a handle on the writing thing. So I got my little thing going. The sweetie's making all types of noise. Okay, over here, I got to do a little bit of shading. I'm almost finished. Go on to doing this page. I didn't videotape the upper part. I should have. Oh well. Okay, just a little bit more right over here. Yep, I do this. Yep. About 15 seconds to go. I think it's just me saying, well, that's it. It's all, folks. For some reason, I stopped right here. I don't know why, but it did. Okay. Enough of that. Okay. So, now, gonna go into, I just put the whole application window in this one. And here's that drawing, that page. And I have to now, not that. And start working on the tonal stuff by dodging some of these areas. I'm so used to looking at this in black and white, it's going to be weird to see it with color on it. Okay. There's Paul up there. My great grandfather had a mustache like that. Heck of a huge mustache. This is back before World War One. So, guys from back before World War One, the reason that you get these short haircuts for many years is because they had a heck of a time with lice in World War One amongst the soldiers. So they just cut their hair short. Pretty much took care of that. Because they were in the trenches, man, just for like months. You had all types of crap. There'd be, imagine what was in those trenches with them. Types of vermin and varmints. Ugh. It wasn't the first time trench warfare had been done. It was trench warfare in the Civil War too. That stinks. Anyway, a little bit of stuff in here. These guys are going to really be in the shadows because they are in the shadows. They really are in the shadows. Okay, we got this varmint here. This is a stain. It's a birthmark this guy has, sort of a Gorbachev birthmark. And when I color it, I'll erase that in the line layer so you don't see that. Okay. So there was something I saw. Oh, yeah. Here down the line layer. Yeah, I remember I said that I needed to put something in here. Because you wouldn't just have, you just wouldn't have that there. Okay, that kind of fixed that. Is there something else there that I was missing? Um, maybe. Right here. Yeah. I might just use the stamp here. Yep. And then, oops, need a white layer there. Yep. Need a white layer there. I made a boo-boo here. I made it long. Oh. I made it a lot in a lot of these a lot of them in which I didn't understand these collars. Oh well. So it's been a while since we left the farm. Okay. What was I doing there? Oh, yeah, I was wanted to. Yeah, it's a little bit better. And then just draw some hatching there to establish that a little bit better. Okay, then I'll fix the other pages where I have that, we left the farm an awful long time ago. Okay, fix that. Up to the color area. I gotta remind myself what was the color hat that Grandpa was wearing. And he's not wearing a hat down here, not here, So it's gonna have to go and look at, let's say, page. I looked at page. What did I look at? Page 95. We look at page 95. Nope, they didn't have it. Look at page 99. See if I can find 99. Yeah, page 99. I think I had his hat. Yeah, that's colored Grandpa's hat. Okay. So let's color Grandpa's hat. Color it a little bit lighter. Doesn't have to be. Okay, as long as it's a chromatic neutral made from mixing several pure colors, but not adding black into it, you get a real gray, but it's not a gray that doesn't interact with other colors. Well, a gray that's actually interactive with other colors. So all these colors are going to have slightly a tinge of one of those primaries, which I'll maybe show in a second. What's the dominant? The dominant one is, well, it's between cyan and yellow. And there's a little bit of magenta in there. So cyan is the white, cyan, yellow. You get a greenish gray. It's a real gray, but it's a greenish gray. So it interacts with other colors around it, even though it forms as a gray, which black and white combinations of gray don't do. Though they do, anytime you use a gray, just about anywhere, the pure colors around it, if they're warm, the gray will take on a cool perception. You'll perceive it as a cool color. And if the colors around it are cool, you'll perceive it as a warm color. Which is kind of weird, but hey, that's life. And Paws got himself a hat that's that color. It's a kind of one of those really nice Stetsons, probably before Stetsons were too dang expensive to buy. At that real nice beige color. Do. And it's usually my strategy to use a bunch of chromatic neutrals as a way of making sure that if you use a pure color, you it stands out. It becomes your focal area. I don't know if I'll do it on this page. It's all kind of intuitive with me. I don't plan that dadgum far ahead. Because you can plan all you want to. When you see it, you see it. And that's when you make your real decision. That's one of the coolest things that happened to me as an artist is decided to do this dang thing and then having it balloon into a 9-book series. And I understand the book. I got most of it written already. in novel form. I kind of like doing that because it enables me to do some nifty things uh, in. I'm going to give this guy a little more ruddy look and a little more orangish. Yeah, so he's not so. Uh, so I have to really pare things down and choose what is important when I write a comic book script. You can't put everything in that you put in the novel into the comic book script, but while doing the novel, you flesh out the characters. It tells you how to do the graphic thing. So I understand these characters real well because I've mapped them out in a novel. And as I give some certain characteristics and then look at the historical context, I get new elements for the story that come out of my research. And don't know how other writers work. I never really talked to anybody about it, but that's how it's been working for me. Okay. And okay, this guy's he's not a ghost. And a little bit that, a little bit there. Okay, and well, let's not be mean to grandma. Let's okay. That right there, that's about it. I can easily just do that. Look what I did. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. So, Grandpa was wearing, let me take the tone out of there. He's wearing that color there. So we'll give him that color here. Well, let me see. I'm going to have to reduce the size of that so I can get it in here. I'll just outline this. Oh, this is a short day. I'm at 54 minutes. I have to leave here at about 1 hour and 15 into this. So I got about 20 minutes to go. I got to keep an eye on that. I got a class. I got to teach at 11:40. Need time to get ready. Make sure I do everything right. Yeah. I love this little drawing of Grandpa. Boy, I only did. Let me see. I got 148 pages, and I probably did an average of 6. I probably did about 900 to 1,000 drawings for this book. That's a good chunk of drawing. Not like doing an animated movie where you do 100,000 drawings. Of course, they do those in huge teams, and I'm doing this all by myself, which is the way I like it. Teacher always put on the note, the report card, does not play well with other children. And I like having complete control over the entire production. It enables me to get exactly what I want, and if it screws up, it's my fault. Whereas when I was doing underground, sometimes things crept in I never even knew were going to happen, and nobody likes that. Okay. Okay. Now, what color pants did Grandpa have on? He had, let's get rid of the tone, and then he had that color right there. Okay. So back to that. I could probably give Grandma her color for whatever she's wearing. Okay, fill that sucker in. I'm not going to just use the paint bucket. I'm just going to fill it in. Okay. Okay, now what color was Grandpa's shirt? It was. Dang, I better just keep on getting rid of that. Get that color. And and the color there. Okay. Now pause. Color of pause. Jacket. We'll make it that. Be lazy. Do that. And just clean it up a little bit. Uh, oh, don't do that. I guess just have to do this over here. Yep, and then do a little bit of yeah, smudge it a tiny bit, it'll be all right. And it's over here. Okay, now I have to go do something that I didn't do before, and so I gotta go down here to the line layer, and I did not darken in his mustache, which I have to do. Okay, and then oops, to the color layer. And then down here, got to do that. Okay, anyplace else? Make sure I got that. He's got a hand. I see the hand. There's another hand. Okay. Clean that up right there. And I can push that up there a tiny bit. Yep. Push this here a tiny bit. Clean that up a bit. Okay, now this old farts got to be a wine colored. But it's gonna, this is gonna have a tiny little bit of black in it. And bring it over here a tiny bit because you don't want to overdo it. And I can always play around with it. I'm busy. I'm busy, sweetheart. I'm busy. I'll be there in a second. Shh, sweetheart. Cool it. All I can tell you is I'm online. Oh, my. Oh. And now we do that. Okay. Now we gotta, I might as well do it twice. Okay. So really get it in there and do it down here too. Okay. Now I got to figure out exactly how deep I want that birthmark. I think that'll be deep enough. Now I go down here and I erase its perimeters. So it is just a stain. Okay. And I probably can. Uh, there. Okay. Do. Okay. Now I got that. And I go back to that guy's face every time. And every time I show him, I'm only going to show him a couple more times. Uh, and get that. So now we get old grandma's color of her outfit. Bring that all the way over here because all I do in doing her dress is go over it again and make it a deeper value. Ah, okay, good. I got that. And over here, there, and maybe right there. Okay. And let me see. Blue Boys. Um, color of Blue Boys. Ah, right there. That out. Then there's Blue Boys. Oh, made another drawing mistake. Yeah. Wow. Okay, do it down here. Ugh, need to bring that up a bit so it's larger and I can actually see the dang thing. Okay, I have to go mute because that's my chair secretary. I'll be back in a second. Okay, that was that. I got that little bit of work done. Let me see. Now I'm working on. Oh yeah, Blue Boy's pants. I messed up his pants, and now I gotta fix that little problem right there. Because that doesn't work. Unless you got X-ray vision, and I don't. And maybe I'll soften that up a tiny bit. Soften that up. We'll soften that up just the tiniest bit. Don't have that coming through. Okay. Okay, now back to color and where was Blue Boy's pants? It's been over here. Yep, that was where it was. I've got to go. 116. So I'll be back tomorrow, and I appreciate that heart-shaped thing. I appreciate the heart shape. I hope subscribe to me at my Facebook channel. I have a YouTube channel, Blue Boy Brown Comics, and also I have a Twitch, which I don't really know the address for, but I added Twitch a couple weeks ago, and whatever you add, it's cool. So here's what we're doing now. Let me save that. I'll finish it up tomorrow. Now we got it. So save that. I'll be back tomorrow. You guys all stay safe. Hey, just to the side, a friend of mine got COVID-19. It was the first friend I had who got COVID-19. She got encephalitis from it. So be careful, guys, especially when you're around older people. Be very careful. This is not, no matter what all the hoo-ha and the political stuff going on about it, you get encephalitis, you're going to wish you hadn't. And I know this from having worked my way through college as a healthcare provider. I had patients who had survived the Spanish flu of 1918, 1920. In later life, they got Parkinson's disease. A large number of them did because it does neurological damage to you. Like this poor woman may later on in life get Parkinson's disease. I hope she doesn't. But but then again, I just saw a woman who's 107 years old who survived the Spanish flu, just survived COVID-19. Depends on a lot on your genetic makeup and how tough you are. So, but don't rely on being super tough. Okay, be super careful. And here we are, Blue Boy Brown. I'll see you tomorrow.